Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. So this is our foundations and kind of beginner or basics class. So we're gonna do 5 minutes of warm-ups. We're gonna do some wellness or Qigong exercises that are also found within our Yang family Tai Chi, and then some seated waist or spine exercises, and then we're gonna dive deep into some of the movements. So we've been building on in a couple of movements, and we're gonna link some together today to just enjoy the flow. First and foremost, let's take a look down at our feet, shoulders width apart. Remember, the whole health of our body starts with our foot direction. So nice and straight, unlock the knees, but not too bendy. Relax that lower back, giving us a really great foundation for our whole body. Now we're gonna start by drawing our chin to our chest and then looking up towards the sky. Remember, don't push too far, 70%, so don't look up too high. Nice, smooth movement. Deep belly breaths throughout our entire session. Let's do one more round. We'll look up. We end by drawing the chin to the chest. Try and let your shoulders hang down a little bit more, and then lift back to neutral. Now we'll look over one shoulder, back to center, and across to the other side. Just gently warming up the body. Again, don't push too far. Just a little looking over with a nice level head. Really gonna help with your whole spine. All right, one more complete round, both sides. Back to center, and then into the shoulders. So together or alternating, it's up to you, but we really want to think about opening up through those shoulder joints. So big arm circles, small circles, do what feels good, okay? Really try to find that movement through the joints, opening up the chest, pulling the shoulder blades apart. We'll do a couple of more this way, and then we'll go the other direction. So pull those shoulder blades apart. And again, you could alternate one side and then the other. Those giant arm circles are always an option. Listen to your body throughout class. We want to focus on alignment and healing, letting that energy flow through our practice. All right, let's go back a couple of circles and then shake them down. Let them find neutral. Okay, now we're just gonna find some looseness in our spine and our arms with a gentle turn from the middle body, and just let the arms swing. The palms will tap wherever they wanna land, be that the lower back or the belly, and the head follows the torso direction. So we're just turning side to side. Play around with the speed that you're moving. So if you move a little bit faster, the arms move a little bit faster. And if you slow down, the arms will slow down with you. This is something to take note of because the energy in our body is controlled by our waist and our spine. So we want to start to incorporate this into our practice right away. All right, let's start that slowing down. So we're going to not turn as far until we eventually make our way back to center. And then we have two left. So we're going to do circles with the hips. Nice big circles, hand on the hips, arms down, or even palms on the lower back. Whatever feels good, just get a nice rotation through the hips here. Nice deep breaths. All right, let's go the other direction. One more big circle all the way around, and then come back to center, even it out, and then we'll draw our knees and our ankles together, bending down a little bit, and small, tiny circles. Just circling the knees, warming up through the ankles, and then we'll go the other direction. Couple more circles. And then we're done. So we'll come up, shake out the arms and legs. All right. So now let's get into some Qigong wellness exercises. The first one, like water's wave, we're going to start shoulders width apart. Remember, we're trying to heal our bodies. So as you sink down into your knees, I want you to really be aware of where the weight is. So right now, feel the connection in your footwork from left to right. We're going to bring our arms down to our side body. So the fingertips brush the sides of our thighs. And we're going to inhale and rotate those palms facing back and bring the arms up to shoulder height and shoulder width. Then we let the upper arms go down, the forearms and the palms till they sit in front of your hips. So it's inhale up, exhale down. Now here we're going to include the legs. So we're going to stand fully when the arms are up. And then we're going to sink down to a comfortable position when the hands are at the hips. How low you go is up to you. So staying where you are, I'm going to turn so you can see. Upper arms, forearms, and palms sink down. Pushing up, standing all the way, arms at the top. And then again, you could sink down just a little bit. Whatever feels comfortable for your body. I want you to feel light and airy through the arms. Strong, heavy, and stable through those legs. Already building that balance in our footwork and just taking a few breaths. So if we had everyone in a room together, we would all be moving at a different pace. And the goal here is to just feel that push out of the legs. We move through the spine, out to the hands and fingers, and then release and float back down. Let's do a few more. Really find your connection to your body. Beautiful. Let's do one or two more. Just depends on your pace. And you can end with me or after. I'll give you a moment to pause and finish. And we just stand up and just bring our arms to the side direction, returning to what we call prepare. So this should start to become our natural position where we have those nice soft knees, that weight's even. And then from here, we're going to rotate those palms up and bring them overhead. Bend at the elbows, press down the body again until we reach the hips. Relax the arms, fingers point down, rotate the whole arm, palms face the sky and then together. And then bend at the elbows and press down. So again, incorporating the legs. Inhale up, you can even look up. Exhale, bending down to whatever position is comfortable. Inhale, keep those shoulders down, even if we have to just be here. And then we bend at the elbows and rotate, pressing down. Remember, we want to listen to our bodies. So it could be here. And then you bend and you press down. The goal is to feel relaxed, connected mind, body, and breath. Let's do a few more rounds, moving at your own pace. Keep those shoulders nice and low. Find the lightness through the arms and the heaviness through the legs. Let's do just a couple more. We'll do one or two more. Again, if you're new, ending after so you can see what happens. We're going to combine the first one with this one. We're going to stand up, keep those palms facing down and bring the arms to shoulder height and shoulder width. And then we do upper arms, forearms, and palms sinking down in front of the hips. And then we return to that original position. All right, great job. Feeling the energy flow through your fingers now? Okay. Let's grab our chairs. Let's take a moment. We got a little bit of warm up there. Let's get our spines moving. So, remembering a lot of our overall health depends on our posture. Starts at the ground with the footwork, checking in on the knees and hips, but then what's going on with our spine? So let's find some movement through our spine. So finding a chair without wheels, sit on the edge of that chair. So when we're sitting back, typically we're not going to have too much weight on our feet. Find the sit bones, find that weight even from side to side, push into your feet and feel rooted in the ground. Okay, we're going to bring our arms up into what we call a hug a tree position. So stay here for 1 second. I'm going to get up to show and demo. So from here, remember, it's like you're hugging a giant tree, right? But we're not going to round too much. Relax. And the big thing here, space between your fingers, so don't let them touch. Take them apart, and then here, relax everything down a little bit, okay? This is the big thing. I want you to think just enough. So open through every single joint just a little bit, but not that it's tense, okay? So try to relax. Now throw them down. This is gonna be a big part of our practice, is we're gonna hold our arms up and then we're gonna release that energy by throwing it down and out through the fingers. So from here, find that nice stable position from side to side. We're going to imagine we're in the center of our own little square box, okay? So what does that mean? You hold your arms up in that hugging position, and we're going to imagine we're in the center of a box that we're turning about 45 degrees. And then we come back to center, and we turn to the other corner, or 45 degrees, and come back. Now you move at your own pace. And remember, we're not going to turn past comfortable. So maybe you only turn 10 degrees and then come back. Okay? Maybe it's 20. Okay? It's going to be up to you. Now, if the arms start to feel a little tense, drop them down a little bit more. Relax into it. Really try to imagine there's a weight pulling down from your elbows so that the elbows and shoulders can relax. Let your head follow the torso direction. And feel how the hips can remain stable even though we're turning through the spine. So important. Okay, let's do a few more rounds. So this is the most basic variation of spine movement. It's just a simple twist, just a turning from side to side. And we're going to look into the other two variations and then we're going to link them all together. Okay, let's complete this round, both sides. Back to center. And then again, throw the arms down. Really use this time to relax and get that energy and tension out of the arms and shoulder area, okay? So maybe it's even just a throwing down this way, whatever feels good. All right, the next one we're gonna do is horizontal. So that means our spine is moving from side to side, okay? When you do these variations, I don't want you to move so far that that sit bone comes up. It's going to be a smaller movement, okay? So let's bring our arms back into this position. This helps us with our whole upper body shape. So relaxing the shoulders, lifting through the crown of the head, and sinking our chest in slightly. So think left and right. Okay, so we're moving. I'm going to exaggerate so that you can see we're going side to side. You could also put your hands on your ribs if this helps you. Feel that area a little bit more. But when we do it, it's going to be like this. It's going to be little movements so that weight is still centered on both sit bones. And I'm just finding that movement in my spine. Tai Chi is like a combination of standard footwork, waist movements, and then a variety of arms. So if we can become familiar with each of the pieces, then putting them together in different combinations becomes easy. So let's do a couple more rounds. Both sides. Last one. And then back to center. Throw them down. Okay, the next one is where it gets a little bit trickier because we're going to be doing a vertical circle and we have to figure out how to use our chest area in a new way. So this is going to be a circle one direction and then the other direction, okay? So we're trying to think about moving our middle and upper back in this vertical circle. So again, we're going to bring our arms back up. You can drop them down at any point and we're going to think in an exaggerated way, we're going to move up and back and down. So forward, up, back, and down, okay? So again, when you really do this movement, it's going to be a very small circle, Okay, you're not going to see a lot of movement. It might just be like an open and close when we're first learning, and that's already bringing a lot of movement through the chest and spine area. But if you can, even if you're doing that big movement just to learn what it feels like, try to make it a circle, okay? We're going to do just a couple of these both directions because then we're going to combine it together. So let's go the other way. So back, up, forward, and down. So think about making a circle the other direction and then see if you can make that circle smaller. Remember, in Tai Chi, a little bit goes a long way. They say it takes an ounce to divert 1,000 pounds. So that means it just takes a little bit of energy, moving the right way to help us achieve maximum results. Let's do a couple more and then release. Throw them down. Last one, okay, is putting it all together into a figure 8 or an infinity symbol. So we're going to be doing a figure 8, but it's not just going to be a flat figure 8. It's going to be like a turning, like an infinity symbol has that twist to it. So we're combining all three together, turning, horizontal, and vertical circles. So again, we're going to bring our arms up, try to find that relaxed feeling through the upper body. We're going to turn a little bit, and then we're going to draw that front elbow forward and think about making a figure 8. Come back, forward to the other corner, back, and forward. Again, I'm exaggerating so you can see, but you want to have your sit bones connected and even. So it's going to be a lot smaller of a movement. It's going to be small, and you're going to feel up and down, left and right, forward and back, turning all within the same movement. Okay, let's reverse it. So other direction. Again, big circles to kind of help us find that figure 8 or infinity symbol. And then hone it in, connect to those sit bones. Feel that weight even from side to side so that we can bring that into our stance work. Figuring out how to keep our hips in line so that our toes are in line with our foot direction and our spine can move freely. All right, couple more. All right, back to a corner, turn, throw them down. Nice work. Okay, so now we got the energy flowing through our spine. Let's get some footwork going. Let's get a little bit of opening through our hips. So grabbing that chair for maybe a little bit of balance for a moment before we put it away. Take your hand to the chair if that helps. Remember, try not to lean on it as much as you need. Try to gently touch so then you can lean on it if you need to, okay? Lifting up, check in, knees soft, standing up nice and tall, pick a point to look at, lift and open to the side. So lift and open. That opening is what we're going for to help with the hip area for our stance work that's coming next. So just lift and open. Feeling that tap on the ground if that helps with stability, and then coming back. You don't have to follow my pace. We're just going to do a couple more. One more after this. And then release. Come down. All right, other side. So maybe turning or moving the chair, whatever's best for you. Find your footwork nice and solid. Pick up, lift, open, and maybe touch. So again, it could be a little bit. As long as you're opening to that side direction, that's what's helping with this hip joint for our stance work. It's also helping build stability. This also helps with core strength. So a lot of great things going on with this one little exercise here for a moment. All right, let's do a few more. All right, one more. And release. Shake out the legs. Should be nice and warmed up there now. All right, let's move those chairs. Give ourselves a little bit more space. And then let's get into our stance work. So we've been working on press and push, combining those movements together. If you're new, don't worry, we're gonna talk through it again. But why I'm bringing that up is because right now we're gonna practice our footwork with our left leg forward, so then we can combine our footwork with the arm movements in a moment. So I'm gonna practice with you facing the same direction to the side, but first I want to review the footwork for those that are new. So facing your screen for a moment, I'm going to mirror you. So for this section, shift the weight to your left leg, turn and open your right foot 45 degrees. Remember, we're in our own little square box. You're gonna sink down to a comfortable position. That means you're keeping that knee in line with the toe direction. If it starts to pull in, I want you to ease up. Okay, now you're gonna step out with that left leg right in line with where it was. Touch, heel, ball of foot, toes, bend the knee and connect to the ground like a cat that's tested and it's solid. And you have a little bit of weight on that left leg now. And now from here, you're gonna push forward until your knee is over the ankle. How do you know it's over the ankle? If you're too far, you can lift the heel. If you're not enough, you can lift the toes. You want to find in between. Now I'm facing this direction for this moment, so if you turn on that right heel, you should see you very clearly have two lines between your legs. This is for stability, this is for the hip joints, this is for everything in our body to work at its optimum levels. Now let's turn to the side direction so we can all move in the same way, starting in that shoulder width apart stance. Shift to the left, turn and open your right toes. Sink down and step out. Heel, ball of foot, toes. Push and move forward. Now I want you to lean into it. While we're here, check that weight's connected to both feet. It's not turned in on the inside of the ankles. We're not pushing out too far. We have knees in line. And now bring those arms up into that hugging position. Feel how you can turn your torso without turning your hips. So stay the direction you are. I'm just going to show you again. Not turning the hips, okay? We're turning from the torso, but we're keeping that lower body nice and solid, okay? So now I want you to turn and shift your weight to that right leg. Now pick up the left leg. If you had to move quickly, whoop. If you had to drag your foot, I want you to step smaller. The whole thing with Tai Chi is it should always be natural. So we're not going to push ourselves. Our body's just eventually going to become stronger. And I just want you to turn as you shift back and push and turn the torso to straight as you move forward. So feel how you can bring the weight forward and back again and again. Now from here, I want you to feel the difference of moving up and down with the hips. And I want you to think, okay, how do I create tension? If I was pushing something heavy, what would that feel like in my legs? You would feel this stop or this support from the front. So we have to create that ourselves. So you're pushing from the back leg, but you're supporting with the front leg. So you're creating this tension to use the muscles. And if you moved quickly, you wouldn't go flying forward. You would stop yourself, okay? So that's the goal as we're moving here. And that's why I wanted to work on having this left leg forward first, because we're going to be doing this with the right leg forward for the last bit of class, okay? So take a break for a moment. I'm going to show you the hand position for push, and we're going to include that with this left leg forward. So remember with push, we have great space between our fingers, okay? So not too much, right? But not crumbly. So gently opening each joint a little bit, including what we call the tiger's mouth area. Now, when we're doing push, we're not going to be flat palmed. I want you to think about having a giant beach ball, that cup position that you would have around a ball. That's what we're going for. And with push, we're going to start at our chest level, sitting in front. We're not going to open up too much. We're going to relax into it, and we're going to push to shoulder height. So if you actually push someone or something, you would be pushing up slightly. So we go from down to up. And we're just going to come back. You can even flatten the palms if you want, and then come over that ball, and then we're going to push again, okay? So we're just going to come back, and we're going to push, okay? So we're going to combine this with our footwork. That being said, I'm going to cue you to combine your breath with your body movement. This is not always true in every move with Tai Chi, but when we practice one movement at a time, we can combine the inhale with the storing of energy and the exhale with the release. Okay, when we practice a form, we're just going to breathe smooth, even, and continuous, but right now we can use our breath to our advantage. So let's get into a great bow stance here. Feet shoulders width apart, shifting to the left, turn and open those right toes, sink down to that comfortable position and step out. Make sure it's good. Can you pick up easily? And then touch. Okay, so remember, our final position is going to look like this. We're going to have that nice lean, like we're pushing someone's broke down car, and then we're going to come back with an inhale and sit up the palms, and we're going to exhale and push out. So I want you to play around with it for a moment. Inhale back, exhale forward. Feel the connection. Imagine you're pushing something really heavy. You'd lean into it to gain the most power. You would use your breath to your advantage. And you would really be using all of the power coming from your legs. Now, with this, you could slow it down and really try to get everything to arrive at the same time. So when you come back, the hands just sit up when the weight's all the way back. And when you move forward, the knees over the ankle when the palms are all the way out. Or you could play with it and move a little bit quicker. It's up to you. That's the great thing. Enjoy the movement. Find that connection to legs, waist, and arms. So feel the body draw power from the ground, travel through the legs, the spine, moving vertically out to the hands and fingers. Inhale back, exhale push. Are you feeling the power? Yes. So all of the elements are already combining together. Okay? That's the goal, is to find our own flow and feel our own power. So we're going to do this on the other leg with the right leg forward. This is the way we traditionally practice the movement called grasping the bird's tail, which is what we're working up to. So we've done press and push. Right now we're just going to do push a couple of times, then we're going to add on press, and we're going to talk about roll back. So we're kind of working backwards within this movement because push is the easiest thing to work on. So shoulders width apart. Let's switch the legs, get the other side feeling nice and juicy too. Shift to the right, open up the left toes, sink and step. Okay, again, shifting back. Can you pick up? If it was hard, step smaller. Super important, even in single movement practice, to have a great bow stance, okay? So check that alignment with push. Wrists in line with your shoulders. Remember, hips aren't turned, hips are open, but the torso is turned to straight. Okay, knee over ankle, feeling nice and solid. Push back, inhale back over that ball. Exhale, expand out. So again, just feeling that connection. How did everything change just because we changed the leg that was forward? Do you feel a difference in the push and support between your front and back leg? Maybe you feel a difference in your hips or your torso. But play around with the movement. Try to get it so if I said stop and you were halfway, you would be halfway with the arms and the legs. So we wouldn't be all the way with either one. Okay? We stop and then everything arrives together. That's what makes Tai Chi look so pretty when you see it being practiced in parks, because everything is just flowing gracefully. Okay, release. We're going to do some more, don't you worry. All right, so I want to add in press to connect to push, okay? So remember, press is simply having our right arm bent in 90 degrees. Now, when we have this movement here, we're going to turn our palm up slightly so that we're engaging the muscles here, okay? You can probably feel the difference if you put your other hand on it. You can feel how it changes everything internally, okay? That being said, press actually has your hand sitting right here. So we're not going to be vertical. We're not going to be to the side. Guess what? 45 degrees. Okay? This is like a magic number. Now, press is simply going from a down position out and up a little bit. So it's just expanding out. Now, the movement itself is like being in a crowded room and kind of making space and taking up space because you're like shoved in a train and you're like, guys, get away, okay? But we also have the other hand, the left hand is pushing out. It's pushing on the strongest part of your forearm and it's expanding out. So this is press, okay? It's just pressing out, okay? So right now we're going to do press and then we're going to combine it into push. So what is that transition? That transition is from here to press. Notice how your body is turned open slightly a little bit, okay? Just naturally already doing that. And then we're going to square up the body with those arms out, just like we did at the beginning of class. And then we're just going to come over that ball and we're going to push. Right? So we're going and revisiting all the way back to the beginning of class already, okay? So from here, touching that forearm, expand out. Flatten and open. Come back over that ball and then push. Now that's feeling really good, right? So now let's get the whole body doing it together. Okay, so this is Tai Chi. It's combining all these different things together to get the most. So let's give ourselves a great starting position. Feet shoulders width apart, shifting to the right. We turn and open the left toes. Sink down, step out, natural bow stance, okay? If you pick up, you can still step, right? Okay, so press, left palm to right forearm, hug it in close, torso's open, expand out. So just feel that for a moment. Come back and press. When you stop, elbow and knee should be in line, so we're not turned too far, right? So we're in front. So come back and press. Back and press. This is almost easier than push in a way, right? It's just expanding out. Okay, so now if we're back and we go to press, let's use our waist exercises to flatten those arms, palms facing down, and turn the torso. Then come back over that ball and push. It's all coming together now, right? So let's go back. Press, sinking back, left palm to right forearm. Expand out for push. Turn from your waist to flatten the arms. Come back over that ball and push. Let's do it again. Come back. Press out. Square up the body. Come back over that ball and push. Feeling good now, right? Now we got 2 movements, okay? So we're going to add one more. Now remember, we're going to have plenty of opportunities to practice. We're still just focusing in on all of these details so that we can keep practicing every session, okay? So don't feel like we're just going to do this today and then it's going to be done. So we're going to add in rollback. Rollback is another pretty easy movement. So we're going to get the starting position first. We have our right palm seated. So that means it's not going to be flat like this, okay? It's going to be seated up a little bit, okay? Then our left arm's going to be pointing, so our fingertips go towards our forearm like this. I'm going to lean so you can see. But it looks like this, okay? This is going to be going to the corner direction, and all rollback is we're rolling back and down to the side. So we just start at the right-hand corner, and then we go to our left corner. Now, when we do this movement, we're starting a little bit higher, and we're going to go a little bit lower, and that's pretty much it. There's a small up and down here with the arms that happens, okay? But the big thing is just taking or controlling an opponent's arm and roll back. Now, I know you're here for martial arts, right? Yes, some of them, yes, okay. I understand you're not. But what I do get is that we're over video, okay? So knowing the meaning helps. If you had someone's wrist in your hand, how far would it be to their elbow? This tells us that we're here having a close distance versus here. Okay, so that's the spatial awareness that we get from understanding the meaning of having a wrist and an elbow and doing this. So essentially, you're going to take someone's arm and you're going to take them and they're going to be like this. That movement's going to roll them back and down. Okay, so this is just helping you understand why we're not like this, okay? Why we're really close together and we're turning from one corner to the other and a little up and down, okay? Just a little bit, okay? So from here to here. Okay, now how do we get into press? Right, we're working backwards, okay? So what was press? It was left palm here, push, right arm, close in. And then we just go out, okay? So let's do that a couple of times. So from our roll back, we turn. Then turn over that left palm. Bend that right arm so you can touch close in and expand out. And then push is the turning over the ball and push. Nice work. Let's do it one more time, just arms, okay? So from our roll back, seated and left palm to the sky, turn. Okay, touch and press. Open, come back, and push. Nailed it, all right? So now, same exact thing with the footwork, all right? So, left foot goes to the corner, right foot steps out, and we move forward. Okay, right arms to the corner, left palms facing the sky. Okay, turn and move your weight back. Turn. Okay, now touch palm to forearm. Move forward. Use your waist. Turn. Come back and push. Nice. Let's do it a few more times, okay? Right hand to that corner. Remember, you're in the center of your own square, so that's going to that corner. Left palm to the sky. Fingers point to that right arm. Turn and shift back. Press, touch the palm to the forearm and expand out. Open up, flatten those arms. Come back over a ball and push. Yes, now we're getting the flow, right? It's feeling better and better. So let's do it a few more times. Roll back, right palm seated, left palm to the sky, going to the corner. Shift your weight and turn your waist. Okay, left palm to right forearm. Expand for press. Use your waist, palms face down, arms straight. Come back over the ball, sit up the palms, and push. All right, 2 more times. Right palm, left palm to the sky. Turn, roll back. touching the forearm for press. Square up, flatten the arms, over the ball, and then push. Okay, last time. Your mission, fully let go and let your body do whatever it wants to do to completely enjoy the flow. So, roll back, turn and float back. Press, touching and gently coming out. Flatten, come back, and just enjoy that great big push. All right, nice work. Okay, let's just take a moment before we close this session. Let's get a couple of stretches in. So first, just a big reach up. Feel the stretch through your whole spine here. Maybe you feel a second to lean both sides, just a little bit of a stretch. And then we're going to fold forward to release that lower back a little bit. So bend into your knees. Release the lower back. Just find a stretch here for a second. Relax the head, neck, and shoulders. Relax the arms. Really bend into those knees so the lower back is the focus here. Maybe you shimmy the ribs side to side, getting a little bit of a stretch here. And then slowly come up. Roll up through the shoulders, stand up nice and tall, and we're going to stretch out those legs a little bit. So if you need something for balance, grab a wall or a chair, and then bending one knee, grabbing the foot, stretching out the front of our legs here. That was a lot of stance work today. Great job. Try to keep those knees together, finding that nice stretch. Shoulders are relaxed down, even though we're using the arm to assist in that stretch. All right, 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then we'll do the other side. Find your balance. Remember, the balance is affected by that locking out of our leg. So try to have your foot relaxed, unlock the leg, pick a point to look at, and try to breathe. As soon as we stop breathing, that's going to affect our balance as well. So 2 more nice deep breaths here. Take that second and then release. Let's just do one more lift through the spine. Lift all the way up, reach through those fingers, and then just float them down. And then one more down the front of the body. Just a gentle inhale up. Bend at the elbows. Hands come down the front of the body. And release. Great work. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Thank you, everyone.